What's up, everybody?
Oh, baby, live from Lake Havasu.
I'm hyped on this one. I'm feeling good. Welcome. We're in person this time.
Yes.
What up, Bill?
Yo, it's been a while,
Hell
man.
yeah. It has been a while.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
I think it was Chris Edwards.
Oh, yeah. It's not that long, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that long, but
It's
still.
not that long. It's all right. But definitely feels good to be doing this in person again.
It's good to be back. Episode 88.
Episode 88. We got a very special guests. We're here live from Lake Havasu City. Also, by the way, we're here for the Blade Havasu event, 7th annual Blade Havasu event.
Is it?
7th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a bunch of us came out for this. We have some special guests that also came out for this as well. And we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. So
Yeah. I am really stoked about this episode.
Me too.
And I think you are too.
You know why I'm excited.
As you have said
why
on
I'm
this show before that our guest for this episode is one of your favorite skaters.
Probably my favorite skater.
Probably your favorite
I
skater.
don't know if I ever told him the face, but
Do you feel a little on the spot now?
yeah, I'm a little shaky for this one.
That's okay. You know what? We'll change that
right.
mood right now. Let's get to the spiel.
Oh, let's get to it.
Should we? Okay. So everyone, please, if you've heard this before, I think you have, but I'm sorry I'm going to have to say it again for our new listeners and people who are watching for the first time. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Go to our Facebook, give us a like. Go to our Instagram, give us a follow. We have a YouTube channel. Please go there, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So when we have an episode, you get an alert on your phone. Go to our Patreon. Oh, sorry, I skipped to the Patreon. Go to our iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating, please, and a comment. And if you want to see special content, we have a Patreon. You could be a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. We have a bunch of new fun episodes coming up. And with our special guest today, we're going to be going through some old sections of his and doing some commentary on that. So little as $1 a month, you can be a Patreon. So welcome to our Patreon community. And that is my spiel for today.
For as little as $1, you could sponsor a podcast. Yes, and as Billy said, we do have a Patreon. I want to give a shout out to our new Patreon supporters this month. We have, time for me to butcher some names real quick. Get out of the way.
But you've been getting better.
I've been getting better.
Come on, give him some credit,
Oh,
guys.
by the way, that was a pretty good spiel, by the way, considering you didn't have anything written down or whatever.
Thank you. I couldn't see anything in front of me.
I want to thank our new Patreons this month. We have Jason Georges, Elliot Hooker, Josh Hewells, Brandon Lemaire, TJ Gleason, Edward Hines, Chad Vignuel, and Jesse Hernandez. Thank you all so much for your support on our Patreon page. Oh, yeah.
I think you did pretty good with the names right there.
Yeah. I did a little practicing. I'm not going to lie. I did a little practicing right
good.
there. All right. We're getting better at this stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we're racing through this, but we're very excited for our guest. But we also have a sponsor for this episode. Our sponsor is Blank by Rollerblade. And as you've seen on some of our episodes, if you haven't, they have a very exciting team, very cool things coming out. So check out this quick ad by Blank by Rollerblade.
And that is Blank by Rollerblade. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Everybody check them out. Give them a follow on Instagram. The link is in the video description below. So, should we jump into it?
Should we do it? I am personally extremely excited.
I am as well. This is one I didn't think was actually going to happen. Especially to have it in person is really cool. We have everybody. Please welcome Walt Austin. Welcome to the show, Walt.
How's it going?
Yeah.
How is it going? How's it going with you?
Good.
Everything is all right. Drive from Vegas, all right?
Yeah.
Where you living at now? Because you're not in Atlanta anymore.
Yeah, it was really quick. It was less than 3 hours. So
Can't
and
complain
the park
about
is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's
Really
true.
fun.
Yeah, I was really happy to hear you were coming on this trip because the last time we hung out was at Powwow, right?
Yeah, it was a powwow a long time ago. What year was it? Did David win?
I was about to say it wasn't the last battle.
I think it was.
Yeah,
No,
it was
it
a
was.
long time
It was a
ago.
while ago.
It
yeah.
was like 2011, 2012 maybe,
Yeah,
or after that.
I think it was 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Wait, so you haven't seen each other since 2012?
Hmm.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Damn.
And
I
actually
missed him
was-
at Blake Cup, I think.
Blade
I
Cup.
went to a couple Blade Cups, but like I think you were in New York or something, or couldn't make it.
But I knew Walt a long time ago.
Well, before that, yeah.
When I was 18, I spent 6 months in Atlanta, and I was with Walt for his 21st birthday.
This is correct.
Oh, really?
And it was memorable for me because I hooked up with a girl. So I'll never forget it. January 21st, shout out. So.
Well, you remember the date.
Yeah. But dude, it's really good to have you on.
It's awesome being here because like I watch you guys, and now I'm like in this house doing it with you guys. It's pretty cool. Like
Yeah, in this house, we're on the live set in the
Airbnb is
the Airbnb house. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much what it is. We turned the Airbnb into the Jump Street studio.
It's pretty sweet.
The production is much better when it's not on Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah,
I hope everyone's enjoying the quality, and we are in front of a live studio audience, by the way.
we are.
A modest studio audience, but
Yes.
we're here watching. So
Yes.
thank you everybody for
All
joining
right,
us
guys.
too.
Thanks for
Joining us over here.
But Walt, so you said you have seen the show before.
Many times.
Okay. You know how we do it here. Pretty lame and boring in this way, but I like to really get into someone and how they know how they started, get into their story. How did your story start? I know it started a long time ago because you were one of the first guys, or at least of that new generation after Tom, of that era in Atlanta.
Right.
What was your beginning story like getting on skates?
I started skating in 1995, rollerblading. Before that, I quad skated, and I started skating on quads when I was probably 11, 12. And I saw a NIST competition on TV of them doing tricks on skates, like rollerblades, and started skating immediately after that, like full on, like
Needed some inline skates.
yeah. I saved up, I got some rollerblade lightnings.
But that's cool. You did some quad skating.
Yeah, I quadded for a minute. Like we did 360s and stuff, and shadow skated. That's where you like dance skate, like
Okay.
behind people.
Oh, you used to dance?
Were you
Yeah, yeah, it's tight.
Were you
It's
going
tight.
to the rinks and stuff?
Yeah, skating rink every weekend.
Yeah?
Dude, every weekend. It was
That's dope.
yeah, it's like less than 2 miles from my house. So.
Because I feel like Atlanta has like a rich history of like the roller skating culture.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Like, and it's really it's kind of how it cues me into music too, like through skating, and like listening to all the beats and stuff, and like moving, and it kind of I don't know, it just stuck.
Yeah,
It just started going fast. Like,
that's super cool, man. That
Yeah.
you started from there.
yeah,
Okay, so you saw the NIST stuff and you needed to get some inline skates.
right. Got some.
So you went to Champ Sports.
no, it was
Where did you
Played Again Sports.
Okay.
You guys remember those? I don't know if you guys had them in New
Nah,
York.
nah.
Play
guys in
Against
New York?
Sports. It sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
It
but
was like a used gear shop. You can buy hockey skates, quad skates, rollerblades, skateboards, bikes, but like used stuff too, and new stuff. And I wanted Rossi's and Paula's because they had like the bridge grind plate,
Yeah.
but I couldn't afford them, so I saved up and got some Lightnings, and then upgraded later, and then never stopped. Like just kept going.
Just kept going. You're like, all right, I like this.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. I like to hear that a lot of people start from the roller skating scene because it's almost coming like full circle now, the way that roller skating is blowing up so much in skating.
Yeah.
And have you tried roller skating since?
No.
Now you have no
No.
urge to do it or anything?
No, it hurts too much. It hurts just like a shock on your feet too much. Like rollerblades are just way easier.
Hmm.
It's easier on your
Need
feet.
some physics
Yeah.
for the quad skates?
Maybe. I don't know. I used to break a lot of axles, like sliding around, power sliding at the skating rink and jumping stuff. But
Break axles.
yeah,
I didn't know you could do that really on quads.
yeah. Well, if you used to be able to. I don't know what they make them up now, but sometimes it would just bend and then stick, or it
Well,
would
if you're
just
as
snap
nice
off.
as you yourself on quad skates, maybe only the really good pros breaking quad skates.
So you said you saw the Nisses, you needed the inline skates, you got the Lightnings. What was your first like video into the culture? Because you see the competitions and it really doesn't bring you into the culture like the videos do, or like you meeting people from around the way. So what was the thing that like got you to be a part of that culture or see what was there?
So after like seeing it on TV, this was like right before I started high school, and I saw a guy named Paul with a hyper sticker on his backpack.
Okay.
And we started talking, and
Was
he
this in
showed.
school or?
Yeah, this is like at school. He's like the only other person that rollerbladed at
Oh,
my high school.
That's
like,
dope when you see someone in
yeah.
school has like a skate. show or
Yeah,
something
like I knew
that.
immediately what it was. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you rollerblade?" Like, and he was like, "Have you seen Hoax 2?" I was like, "What's Hoax 2?" And he showed me Hoax 2. That was the first video I ever saw was Hoax 2, and it was
That's a really good first one.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that's my
super
first video, too.
long, and it's everyone. There's so many people that are still in that are in it that are really 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 good
Yeah.
at skating, especially with the skates that they had. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
those kink rails on those skates, it's no good.
And I feel like when you saw Hoax too, because that was my first video too, it was like early FOMO. You know what I mean? It was like so much was happening, and you're like, "Where is that happening? I need to be a part of that."
Yeah.
You know.
It was cool seeing, the Atlanta spots, and then later I would go downtown and see like, oh, that was in this video. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was cool.
It's dope. Did you meet up with any local guys around that time, like Andy or Tom, or was it just did that
No, I
happen
didn't.
later on?
Yeah, I didn't meet Tom until I was probably a senior in high school. The first people I met were at the skating rink were Kevin Dowling, and met Kurt Newman, Mike Turner, and they came to the skating rink. And as soon as we started, pretty much got licenses and could not go to the skating rink and drive, we just go to Mike Turner's house every weekend, go skate all weekend, go to school. Next weekend do the same thing, like over and over and over.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's sick that those people that you actually like skated with and like ended up growing up with and skating and shit.
Yeah. Mike
really
McMullen too. Mike McMullen skated like every Gary Caraway. He quit like right when he went to college. He was really, really good. Like super. There was so many good people in Atlanta that we met after that when we were like junior and seniors in high school. We were really, really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Gary Caraway. That name sounds familiar. I think from VG. He was in VG, right? Or was
Maybe.
it Elements?
He had a footage that was supposed to be in Elements too, and it was in the Friends section, but it got cut or something. And I think that like really pissed him off.
Yeah. Because that was one of your first introductions to skating was in Elements 2.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
was the first, like Dre and you and Vinny it brought a lot of those guys out for the first time, and yeah, it was really, really, really good. So what was it like to be a part of that thing, and how was it to know you were filming for something that was going to be on this level of skating?
I don't know. It was nerve wracking, but I had to work. I remember.
Did they come to you and be like, "Oh, like we're filming for"?
No, I think like Kevin and then like that was just back in the AOL chat days, and they knew like got Navron's like chat, and they'd hit him up on AOL, and then sent him footage. It was like, oh, I'll come film for a weekend, and then Dre came down from Charlotte, and I had to work that Friday. Met up with him Friday night, and skated Saturday, and then he had to leave like Sunday or Monday, but it was cool. Like it was weird because you film it and then it takes so long for it to come out. And you're like you're like getting the mail like, oh yeah, like it's way different from now. Like
That was the allure back then too.
Right.
Same with magazines also. Like you get a photo in a magazine, or you get a photo, you don't know if it's gonna be in the magazine until you buy the magazine, and then you're like, oh shit, this made it, or like, oh, I forgot that this was one of the photos.
You
Same thing with clips.
didn't know what would get through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was the best. I love that.
Yeah, and especially nowadays, everything's like you film it, you can put it up right immediately. But like then you're like, oh, what's gonna make it? What's gonna get through? But I think a lot of your stuff came through like really well, and it seemed like a big part of your skating at that time was, and that was a time when it was really focused on style. You know, I mean, there were a couple of different things happening. Then there were like big switch ups and these things happening there, and then there were.
It's Navron, dude. So he's like, come film it, and it's like it's Elements 2. And like Elements 1 was a pretty like a staple rollerblading video.
Huge.
And it's like,
Was
"Come
that
film you."
Navron or Dave Temple? Like
I think it was mostly Navron and Temple worked on it as well. I guess I don't
Okay.
know who did. I mean, Navron's who came to Atlanta and who I always talked to. But it was like, yeah, he's like, you share your SEMA section with Shima and Brian Jagers, I think. And I was like, oh man, like really, those dudes?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool to watch it now. It's like I was in high school.
You were in high school during that time?
Yeah, so junior high school. Yeah, I think when it came out, maybe senior high school.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a staple. The first Elements with everything, and Dustin Latimer's section, of course, and
Oh yeah.
Elements 2 with the same song. So that song is like forever tied in to Dustin Latimer. But that whole video and everyone who's a part of it was always like the future of it, like Elements 2 with Petty and Brian Jaggers and you and Dre and Vinny I think it carried on the same thing that Elements 1 did. I think it had that same
I
impact.
definitely had the same feel for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if like people liked it as much. Like I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I was in it.
Yeah.
But
I'd be stoked too.
What was your were you sponsored before that, or did you get like a sponsor from that video or something like that?
Yeah, like I talked to Brian Kanowski on the phone, like through Joe Navron, and they sent me some stuff. And I don't know if how sponsored I was. Like I got like
how sponsored you were?
Yeah, like I got like one big box and it had like 3 pairs of pants, like 10 shirts, and like however many wheels and stickers. And it's like, okay, all right,
Yeah,
cool. It was the first like, oh shit, this is badass, like free stuff from Senate.
the first sponsor package is always like an impressive one. It's like you feel like you made it, like, or you just like leveled up in your skating game, and you're like, oh, I could like now make a name for myself and all that shit. It's kind of interesting that you had the people's first sponsors and stuff like that too, because that's kind of a big part of where you begin, your sponsors.
That actually brings me to, like, did you skate for K2 back in the day? Because
No.
you skated in the K2 skates. I was always wondering that.
I got like one free pair from a rep, and then a gray frame bottom from a rep, and like a couple T-shirts. That was probably about it. Never got like anything else free from like the actual K2 company. It was a rep through Skaters Extreme. It was a skate park in Snellville, Georgia.
So was your first skate sponsor, like official skate sponsor, just USD then?
Probably, yeah.
I feel like there's a kind of like I don't know how to say it, but because you were probably really deserving of a pro skate that you never got a pro skate, or did you get like a quote unquote pro skate, or did that ever happen, or no, like a Roller Warehouse edition or something?
Yeah,
it was like a boot only.
it was
Right?
A boot only, that's what it was.
Yeah, they just had like a bunch of black shells and cuffs, and they put it together. It didn't have my name on it or anything, and they sold it at
Right,
Roller
didn't have
Warehouse.
your name on it.
It was Scott Walker just put it together because they had that stuff for me to do something. Scott Walker was my main Conti. Met Scott before.
Yeah,
right?
he was like the main U.S. rep for USD.
Yeah, Big Dan. Like he was like who I really talked to mostly with USD. I never really talked to the people at Power Slide or Matthias or any of those. It was always Scott Walker. So.
Yeah, I remember that they did like the boot only, but it seemed like it was just like a.
So was there never talk of you
proper.
having an actual pro skate?
I mean, like they were talked about it, but I think they just decided it wasn't just not to do it. Like the team maybe didn't want to do it, and they just didn't. They had other people in line or whatever.
That's fucked up. Damn.
I mean, it was cool skating for them. Like, I mean, I got paid $500 a month for like a good year and a half, 2
So
years.
they treated you good otherwise besides that?
Yeah, they free like go around the United States and go on tours and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You went on the USD tour, that one epic USD tour.
That was the first time I went to New York. Was that tour? The first time I ever went to New York City.
I was there that day, in Brooklyn, right? The skate park.
Is it like
X Ramps?
X-Ramps, yeah, X-Ramps. Yeah, I was there that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went there a couple times. We went there because Davey Blair was a team manager on another tour,
Mhm.
not the RV one, and we went to that same skate park as well.
What leg of the tour were you on for that?
From Atlanta to the end, pretty much.
No way.
Yeah.
So the whole East Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to stay because Randy and Louie were doing Deshi, and they like canceled their spots. So they're like, "You can stay on the whole time if you want." I was like, "Yes." I've never been in New York. Let's go.
All right, so I got to go through some stories.
Hey, yeah,
of
well-
this tour right now.
Yeah, well, that tour definitely seemed like a wild tour. I think we talked about this with a few people who had like vague memories of what happened on that tour because it looked so wild.
Yeah.
Any moments that stand out to you on that tour?
Honestly, for me, it's more of a kind of a blur because I don't really get that crazy. I just kind of watched, but Detroit was pretty crazy. Like partying at the
Farnhams?
Farnham's house, yeah. Like
Yeah.
they're always like just going pretty crazy with alcohol and partying and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing that when we got that flat tire, there was like when Josh Petty said there was like a strip club across the street or whatever, a bar. It was the shittiest truck stop strip club ever, and you had to buy. It was minimum buy 2 drinks. You had to buy 2 drinks to be in there.
What was so shitty about it? I'm just curious.
It was just bad.
It
was just all bad.
It was just bad. Dirty, dingy,
All bad.
crappy, everything.
It was just something for somewhere to go for those that live around there. I
Right.
guess. I mean, it's connected to a truck stop.
Sure.
So,
So you can imagine.
right.
Right.
It's bad.
But that seemed like a pretty good experience, that tour. And yeah, you got some like obviously great clips on that tour. And a lot of my favorite clips you got at that skate park. At Airborne.
Detroit? Yeah, Airborne,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is when you were doing like a lot of the cess slide stuff. So like you and Dre were kind of like the first people bringing this cess slide stuff to the game, like pushing the bar here. You were doing like, big air, 450 to cess slide.
Spinning ones.
Spinning ones.
Spinny ones.
Spinny ones.
What's up
Technical
with
ones.
that, bro? Talk to me about it. Like,
I just find them.
where did that come from?
I don't like. I just always thought they were cool, and you just go really fast, and there's a way to stop most of the time. But, I mean,
Just
people, and I don't know, I just thought they're really fun to do, and just kind of see how far you can go, I guess. Like,
But like
way
this
you
was
do
the
that.
time when people were doing like, tons of switch ups on rails or like big hammers, and maybe you were trying to go a different way.
I can't do the rails. I suck at them. Like, they're really scary. And it's just, I found them fun. Like, it's like a slide, you know what I mean? And you don't really get hurt if you fall most of the time.
It's like a slide. I like that one.
It's like a slide.
So, but aside from just like you say set slides are like easier or I guess like more forgiving, but then you also do like the biggest gaps ever, which is like the complete opposite. I feel like those are way more dangerous than just down rails.
It's just, when you get tangled up on a rail a couple times, it's like, that fear just never went away in me. So I'm just like, yeah.
And
You know what I mean? I like square, something that's like flat. I like a long curve rail that's fun, but just a basic ass rail is kind of just basic. I don't know.
were you about to say you prefer square rails to
I
round
prefer
rails?
square than round, yeah.
Oh, what's the reason for that?
Because if you miss, you miss. You don't bounce the whole thing and fall off. And you know what I mean? Like imagine like a 40 stair, you just fall off at the end. And you're like, oh my God. How many times you got to do that? Square rail, you're on it or you're not.
I never heard that. I never heard like a preference that someone liked square rails. Have you heard that before? Usually people like bladers like round rails.
No.
Yeah, usually bladers like round rails.
I mean, I like ledges too. So ledges is probably one of the my favorite things to skate. So
Yeah.
if it's gonna be a rail, I'd like it to be like a nice fat square rail.
Yeah.
But can we also talk to quickly? I want to touch on like you always had this standard. Like it kind of reminds me of like the Philly standard. Like you always skated flat. You were big on skating flat during the physics times. And like the way you skated, the way you like landed tricks, it was always like very, like there was
Solid,
everyone
super
knows you as like the suction cup landing guy. So do you have like a philosophy, a standard for your own skating that you like to uphold, or something that, yeah, like, in the time of when people were doing switch ups, you're going this other way. Like, how do you see skating? How's your philosophy here?
I don't have a standard for it. Like I just, I think it's just kind of the way I skate. I don't know, when you land and you skitch out, it's like you almost fall. So
Doesn't feel good.
no, it doesn't. And the flat, I've always skated flat since style points probably. And yeah, I'd much rather be able to roll and turn way easier than, I don't know, get stuck on whatever grinds.
When was the last time you skated anti?
Whenever style points came out in 97, is that correct? Or 98?
98
I
maybe?
think so, 97, 98.
So yeah, it'd be around then.
Forever then on the
Yeah.
flats.
Have you borrowed like a friend's pair of skates when you haven't had your skates and they've had anti and you're like, yo, can I just try your skates on for a second? You're like, what the
A couple times,
What
but
the-
nothing. Yeah,
what is
nothing.
this?
Yeah, it's like skiing. It's on a track. It's like, roll. It just goes whatever way your feet are pointing.
You have like no control on them, right?
Yeah. I don't. Some people can do it. I can't.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be able to like
Yeah.
mush your foot.
I'm the same way too. Billy's still anti-rocker. And I'm not mad at you for that. I'm just saying, like, I'm a flat rider,
Like
so
flat
I
or
know
die,
what I
bro.
know what you're saying, Walt.
Yeah.
But I think you told me, Billy, that when you guys rode physics back in the day, like they had the plastic rocker arms, they had the metal ones, and the metal ones were for like if you were riding anti-rocker, you could like,
Yeah.
it would be super solid to compensate for the lack of four wheels in the ground. But I think he said you used to ride 4 flat with the metal rocker arms on all of them.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
is that just for like those insane gaps or something?
No,
Like,
it's just
or-
because I could, because I got them. So
Just
might as
good?
well put all metal in there.
Yeah, because
weren't those heavy as shit?
they
though?
standard came
Yeah,
like
they
the
were.
metal on the outside, the plastic on the inside, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And you were like the only person that had the all metal on every single one,
Yep.
flat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just because I could have all metals for free. Like there wasn't really like I skated plastic ones with just the metal one in the back for a long time.
That must have been a heavy ass skate.
My skates now are way heavier than.
No way.
Yeah, my skates now are really heavy. The shadows are heavy.
Shadows are heavy. There's like less skate
Mine
on
are.
there.
I have that Damon Wilson tongue on the front. Like they're heavy.
with K2 frames, right?
Yeah.
And still flat rocker. What wheels were you riding? Because you were super smooth today when you were riding.
Wins.
Win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things. You made
Yotos.
me want some Win wheels because they were just like super solid. You could tell like they were just like grippy and stuff. Like I saw you skating around and it's just like super smooth and solid.
Julian sent me those. Thank you, Julian.
Shout out Julian. Win.
This is, Jump Street alumni.
Jump Street
Right
alumni.
there.
Yes, definitely.
So I actually want to talk to you quick about your shooting of the ECVG 19 with Dave Payne, because during that time, the first ECVG was such a big deal. It was like the first East Coast VG. It was around the time when Daily Bread made their first East Coast issue, and it was starting to get some attention there. And the second one is kind of like something similar to Elements 2, like in the second representation of that. And you and Dre had an opportunity to film some parts for that. What was that like to have that, what I think is a pretty big deal for the VG videos back then?
Yeah, it was really cool. Dave Payne was like, "You're gonna get a section." I was like, "Yes, section of VG. This is amazing." Like,
Yeah,
it's awesome. Like,
that's a dream come true.
Yeah,
for a skater
it's
at that
really
time.
cool.
For
Like,
sure.
it's different like now, obviously, but
Right.
yeah, it's like VG was like VG4. When I saw VG4, that's probably what stuck, and I was just like, "Wow, VG4." From then on, you probably, if you wanted to get sponsors, having a VG section would always be like amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, didn't film that much. Braden Nell used to shoot a lot of photos for Daily Bread in Atlanta. Dave sent him a camera, and we went out skating. And then Dave came to town on the FID tour, did some skating there. And I was supposed to go on the FID tour, but I couldn't because I had to work at Skate Pile. And Dave Payne said we needed more footage, and then Kevin and I went out and got pretty much almost the whole section in like 2 days. And
You filmed your whole section in 2 days?
not the whole thing, but like most of the stuff at the end, like that was like all in like 2 days or a day with Kevin.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
Jeez.
Like all that nighttime stuff, right?
some of the nighttime stuff. I don't know. It was it was like the stuff that's in Buckhead. It's hard to describe. Some of the gaps, like the 180 and then the drop in. Yeah, but yeah, that was, we had to like, they're like, yeah, we need more clips, and we actually just went out and did it. Like, it was probably the only time I've ever actually done that. Usually it takes me a long time to film something, like, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things. It was like, who was it? Kevin, who was like narrating the issue. He's like, Walt finally got off his lazy ass inside, like compiling enough footage for a section for Video Groove. And that was, so was that one of your first like sections besides the Elements ones then?
Probably, I guess.
It was hard for you to get
by
sections.
myself in like a major video, I guess. Yeah, like there were some Atlanta videos that people made and stuff that we had split sections and stuff. But yeah, it was like I worked at Skate Pile, Monday through Friday. Like if you ordered from Skate Pile from like '99 to like I don't know around 2001 ish, like I worked in the warehouse and probably sent you a package. Like I worked there for a minute.
Yeah, I remember you being there for a while. Like they had like an all skater staff.
Yeah.
It was like
Like
Andy,
when you were down there.
John Starr, you,
Star was there.
Andy Cruz, Tom, obviously,
Frankie.
Aaron,
Frankie.
Yeah. That was a special time in Atlanta.
It was amazing. Like Skate Pile, having a shop there really helped the scene. You know what I mean? Like there's a place for kids to get stuff, and there was actually a skate park there, like Rampage.
That was Rampage, right? Yeah. Rampage.
And it's really good to have it to have new people coming into the sport, to have a shop like that. Like
And the event too.
Yeah,
helps.
Super Hick. Yeah, like it really helps. It's tremendous. Like
Yeah, that was such a special time in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much.
Atlanta scene was fire then.
There were so many people coming, and it's still fire now. I think the Atlanta scene's always been such a strong scene, like for through like the beginning from like Tom, Frankie, and Andy all the way on through you guys and on down. But I'm curious, like during that time, like who were your like main influences in like your skating? Who did you like? Because I'm curious about that, because you have such a unique style that's so to yourself that I think it's obvious to see where a lot of people's influences come from, but it's not so obvious to see where yours come from. So I'm curious to know, like, who are some of your early influences and maybe some of your current influences?
My favorite skaters were always coming up as a kid were Jason Marshall and John Starr.
That makes a
It's
lot of
VG4.
sense.
VG4.
That's so dope.
It's VG4.
Yeah.
And Julio, Luis Zamora.
Wow, I see a lot of Jason Marshall in your style now that you mentioned that. Actually,
same thing here. Yeah, same.
Transcend was my favorite video. He had a section in Transcend. And later on, like Latimer. Latimer is always amazing.
Yeah. I feel like you guys had a very similar style and kind of impact in a way.
Dustin?
You and Dustin, actually. I feel like you guys had a very similar style and impact in the way how you brought your own individual skating to the game and made it your own. And so, yeah, I kind of...
Dustin's on a different level.
I think it's like the perspective
Dustin's
to
Dustin,
look,
but
to look at like obstacles differently. I think that was a big thing too, because you always looked at obstacles differently. It would seem like you would do out of the ordinary tricks, especially for that time, because now people are doing that stuff more often. But back in the day, it was like grind, gap. That's kind of it, you know? But you were always doing some other spinny deal or whatever, some transfer or something like that. And Dustin did the same thing too.
Yeah, like just bringing a lot of like a very distinct style and confidence with that skating. Like, again, it was during this time where you feel like you, in order to be rated, you had to do a 360 trick on a rail or X amount of switch ups, but you were going your own way and confident in that way and distinct in that way. And I think that's where the similarity is there, the parallel.
That's cool. I mean, Dustin's like the God.
Yeah, for sure. But that's cool to know that he's like a later influence, like after Jason and John.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like I've always like back when I was sponsored and stuff, there was not an emphasis on just like hauling ass and just going really fast around shit. You know what I mean? It was like line up. But and it's like skate parks, like huge airs and stuff like that, like huge hips and big ass grabs, like tucked. I'm like, skating's come like full circle now. It's so pure.
Yeah.
Like it's way pure.
Totally. Are you a fan of skating now?
Yeah. It's amazing. I love rollerblading. I'm a rollerblading nerd. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Who you asked me who I like now, right? I like Inan. He's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like his.
Inan's amazing. Leon Humphrey's section was amazing. The one where he did the TT swale on glass. He's fucking crushing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people.
So
there
many
just
people.
Really
yeah,
dope.
I was just.
It's hard to keep up.
I was just curious because, like, you know, I know you've been a part of it for so long and just like in it for so long, and we've all actually seen some recent clips of you, which we were all so friggin' pumped to see.
Yeah, you have your whole YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel.
Can we talk about this YouTube channel?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's talk about
it. You're not on social media except for YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You're a YouTuber now. But by the way, for everyone watching, Walt has his YouTube video linked in the description below. So you check him out, give him a subscribe, check out all those videos and stuff like that. So, but what made you want to start that? Because that's weird that you would do that before like Instagram or Facebook or stuff like that.
Well, I wanted to like film as I turned 40, and I wanted to like start stacking footage to have like a really good like 40-year-old section. And then like COVID hit, and it was like kind of just like, well, if you're gonna skate around and film, might as well just start a YouTube channel. So it's kind of like a boredom thing actually for the YouTube, but like I wanted to film a 40-year-old like section, and I'm kind of filming it now, but it's tough. Like I'm saving up the good stuff, so.
So you have been filming stuff that's not on your YouTube channel that you're saving on the reps?
Yeah.
All right.
Tony Revituso is going to edit it.
Well, first and foremost, I want to ask these questions about the 40-year-old section, but I want to actually see if you're up for a task. So that you've seen the show.
Yes.
You've seen my spiel.
Which one?
The spiel that I do in order to tell people to follow us on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Can we get a spiel for your YouTube channel?
I don't do the spiel. They just go and watch it.
No spiel.
Where can people go to get your YouTube channel?
YouTube Old Man Conrad. YouTube/Old Man Conrad.
YouTube/ Old Man Conrad.
Correct.
Okay. Why is it Conrad?
That's one of my middle names.
One of your middle names.
Yeah. How many middle names do you have?
38.
What?
Just 2.
Okay. / Old Man Conrad. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to Old Man Conrad, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment.
You got to pay him for that now.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you have it.
No, I'm just kidding. But for real, yeah, support that. Because you know what's cool about hitting the like button and subscribing, all jokes aside? It's free.
That's true.
So
Doesn't
you can just go, if you enjoy Walt and enjoy his stuff and you want to see him around, you could just go for free, hit that stuff and be
When
a
I read
subscriber.
the YouTube analytics book for dummies, I'll get back at you and like, start doing a spiel.
Yeah.
So are you waiting till you're like, because Jimmy Shoot is also filming a 40 section, and I'm like, yo, where's his edit at? Where's his edit at? But he's like, I have until I turn 41 to put it out. Are you doing something similar to that? But you just turned 40.
I wanted it to be done already. I just like I've been getting beat up. So yeah.
So what's it like now skating that you're 40 years old? You're old man Conrad now. You're not young buck Walt anymore.
Yeah, it just hurts all the time.
just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, you have good days and bad days. Like if you have like you start skating for 30 minutes, you smash, like the day's done.
Yeah.
You're not working it out at all. That's how I am, anyways. But
Especially in Vegas with like the heat and stuff too.
no, that's not bad. I'd rather
That's
I can
about
deal with
it.
the heat. I don't want to smash my shin or fall or whatever, hit my hip.
I can relate to the good days, bad days. That's something that's when you break over 35, it's you go when your body allows you, and some days you're
It
like,
tells you.
ooh, I feel young today. Okay, like I can.
Yeah.
But then some days you're like, you feel like grandpa and you can. So I don't know.
I like
I
the
don't know if you can
surprise
relate.
of like you want to do a trick and you do it and you actually complete it like pretty quick, and you're like, oh wow, I surprised myself I did that.
Yeah, I've had a few of those moments too recently, so I definitely appreciate that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know I'm not. I mean, you filmed the VG19 section in almost 2 days, but so you have some consistency with you. I'm not like that at all. So when I get a trick quick, I'm like, oh wow, that like it almost doesn't seem right that it's done that quick, you know?
I mean, the section, it was just like where Kevin and I was like a couple of days. The footage that Braden and I got was probably like another 3 days or a week or so. So it wasn't actually 2 days, but
That's still really good.
Can we talk about Braden quick?
sure.
So Braden Nell was actually a photographer that used to shoot a lot of the skating back in the day for Daily Bread, and I think even Box, right?
Box too, yeah.
Yeah, Box too.
I don't know that name.
And well, the reason why you don't know that name
No.
is
Oh, okay, it's about to come.
is because he used to shoot for like Trans World magazine too, right?
Ah, okay.
And this was during the time where the blade hate was extremely open, and there were, everyone was happy to call bladers fruit booters, and like direct hatred, like open like campaigns in skateboard magazines against rollerbladers. So when they found out he was shooting pictures of rollerbladers, they were like, dude, they basically told him that he couldn't do it anymore.
He couldn't have Braden Nell attached to it somehow for some reason, so he changed his photography name.
So he changed his photography name. Have you heard of the blade photographer Ian Moore?
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard you talk about this before. And
So
now
yes,
I remember that.
So
I
that's
never knew his original name though, so
Yeah.
that's interesting that you say that.
But that's funny because he was like a staple in like the Atlanta scene, and
He was really-
I've shot with him
I didn't
too.
even know he's from
Yeah,
Atlanta.
no, if you got a good photo, it was like almost always going to get used because he was like just proper, really good. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
did
a
shit.
proper photographer, really good. Yeah,
That was filmed too, so if you do a sequence, it was like film. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know that should always bug me out about shooting film back in the day. I'm a photographer myself, but like shooting sequences in film is like you only have like 2 shots on a roll of film to get a sequence done right. It's a lot of pressure.
I have no idea, but
Yeah,
I can imagine. It's probably easier now, though, right?
Yeah,
But
you've had a Daily Bread interview or something like that shot. by
oh
him
yeah,
also, didn't you?
I shot with him. He had it under the name Ian Moore when we shot.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah. And that day we actually had I shot with, it was me, Jesus Medina, and some
Jesus.
pro skateboarder. And it was actually
A pro skateboarder was there?
Yeah, and we were shooting together, and it was weird vibes. I don't know. Did you ever have any of those experiences with?
No, not really.
All good.
Yeah, I mean, like not him, but like other skateboarders in Atlanta were kind of dicks, but
Yeah,
he
like
was always cool.
I've heard from Kevin, like some of like the old OG skateboarders in Atlanta were like,
There's a couple, but most of the people that like actually like throw down, they don't really care. They're just like,
"That's dope." That's dope because I've been seeing things change lately, and
it's
Oh, yeah.
way different, and like it's been Vegas is different. I think it's maybe just the location and the time has changed. It's definitely different from Atlanta for sure.
yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to go back
props.
to real quick that you said that you were shooting with a pro skateboarder as well. So was he
Yes.
shooting for simultaneously like a skateboard magazine and blading magazine together like that?
Yeah, he was just in town and shooting with all of us. Yeah.
That is super rare. I would have never expected that. That's something I never heard of before.
No.
Nah.
He's trying to like, I guess
He's getting his hustle on.
Yeah, get his hustle
He's
on.
got his
He's
hustle
like,
on.
hey, I'm in town. I'm in New York.
Yeah.
You want to shoot? So he just shoved all of us in one car.
He works. Like,
He
he would
worked.
find
Yeah,
spots.
he was good,
he'd take
too.
you
He
to
was good.
places.
Yeah.
Be like, do you do this? Like, it's like, maybe? Like,
Yeah, I feel like J-Ro was always that kind of photographer too. Like he was
Same
super
way.
dedicated,
J-Ro, yeah.
super into it. Like he would do whatever it takes to get the shot good, the way you want it, the way he wanted it.
I think Jero might have learned something from Braden at that time. Maybe a little mentoring, something.
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Shout out Jero.
Shout out J-Ro.
We love Jero.
We love J-Ro.
Man.
I haven't seen J-Ro in a long time. It's been a while since. I think Wes's wedding was the last time I saw J-Ro.
When did you move from Atlanta?
2015.
What was the decision to move from Atlanta?
I wasn't doing anything there. I got laid off of my job a couple years earlier and was just kind of not doing anything but playing poker and drinking. So I was just like, I might as well do that in Las Vegas.
Get paid
Get
for
a
it.
job. Like,
That's the best place to do that.
poker mainly. Like,
I like
yeah.
poker. I like drinking. Where can I go?
Yeah. I mean, I don't drink that much anymore. But
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, it was time for a change. So it was like, I really like poker. So I was like, let's just go to Vegas and play poker.
Yeah.
Get a job. Skating's going to be amazing. So
Can we talk about poker for a second? What games do you like?
I like all mixed games.
You like all mixed
mixed
games?
games is my favorite.
Because we got some some skater players that play poker.
I didn't know that. I don't know that.
No?
We can play, I guess.
You like Hold'em?
I'll play Hold'em.
PLO?
We'll play PLO.
What about Stud?
We can play all of them. Billy.
Okay. What about Raz? You like Raz?
I like all of them.
Oh my God. We're dealing with a
We
pro.
play some.
I think he likes all of them.
Sometimes we play some silly. There's some silly ones you could play, like double board,
Yeah.
like Big O, all kinds of crazy stuff.
7 of Deuce Triple Draw?
Played that.
That's a fun one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's
That
actually a
one's
fun
tough.
one.
It's tough. It's
Yeah, it's a
tricky.
tough one.
It's
Yeah.
tricky.
Deuce to 7 Triple Draw.
You guys
Pro
are talking
shit.
another language to me. I don't know
Sorry.
anything about poker.
It's
So-
just silly gambling games. Cards.
Silly.
But so, did you know anyone when you went to Vegas, or did you just kind of go out on a whim
Yeah, just drove there.
by yourself?
Crashed at a Motel 6 for a couple weeks. David Sizemore hooked me up with Tony. Crashed at his house for a couple weeks.
Shout out Tony
Shout out
Rivatuzo.
Tony.
We got
He saved my
Tony in the
life.
place.
He saved my
Tony.
life, dude.
Yeah.
And got my spot shortly after that, and been there ever since. Still in
Dope.
the same apartment, actually. I've been there a while. I don't know if I've ever lived in an apartment for 5 years.
So the first one you got, you stayed in.
Yeah,
That's perfect. You're a simple man.
pretty simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, simpler the better.
Yeah, I like that. And Tony's like the perfect guy to hook up with when you go to Vegas. And there's
Tony's
like a
sick.
ton of people in Vegas skating. Like Ian McLeod moved to Vegas.
Yeah, I
He's
didn't,
skating
McLeod-
with-
I didn't know that. at
He's
Ian
all.
skating
McLeod
with
lives
Ian
in Las
McLeod
Vegas. I
and-
skate with him all the time.
When-
He's amazing.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
did that happen? You told me that he was coming
He's been
here.
there a while, a couple years, I think.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
coming up on 2 years, maybe. He's been there a minute.
Yeah. So he's got a nice little scene there now.
Las Vegas rollerblading is healthy. It's very nice.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I was about to say, did you like when you first got to Vegas? Did you, were you thinking about skating or meeting up with skaters, or did you just happen to run into Tony?
No,
or-
I hit up David and asked him if David
Nice.
Sizemore, and asked if he knew anyone in Las Vegas that I could crash at for
Okay.
a few until I got set up. And knew Tony, put me in touch.
Dope. Shout out David Sizemore.
What a good man. We got to get him on the show, too. Because
We do. We have
yeah,
so many.
He dropped the new not a VOD, but it's a video. But still, having him on.
That
We should do a
video
movie
is
night with that,
ridiculous.
like we said.
Yeah, we should.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. We don't want to ruin that for anybody.
That
No.
video is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous,
It's
too.
so good.
It's really good.
David did a really good job with that.
Oh, yeah. Dominic Bruce destroyed that. If you haven't seen that, check out Fifth Floor. Anybody out there?
Yeah.
But can I talk about these?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, because you blessed me with some Blade nostalgia right here. We'll talk about these first. So these are the Epic frames,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, and these were supposed. Well, you talk about them. You let people know what was going on with those.
Tom made like 3 or 4 of these ones. And I got this pair, Julian got a pair, and then I don't know what happened to the other ones. And I skated these for almost 4 years. Like 3.5 years, probably. 3.5, 4 years.
The same pair.
Same pair.
Same pair.
Yeah.
And you don't know like what happened with them or what
Nope.
was going on.
Nope.
Just rode them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Well-
like the Razor Twins company.
Yeah, the racers came in to work with him, and then something didn't work out. I don't know. And then the other ones are what racers gave me. Those ones that. Oh, you haven't brought them out yet.
Oh, I got them here. We'll bring these out too, I guess. So you could talk about these as well. Was this like a second iteration of them or something?
I have no idea. I'm telling you, like the race, like Scott and Kevin showed up at my house and just gave them to me.
You know, it's really clever
I
how
don't
they
know
did
if they
Epoch,
sold, how many they made
you know,
or anything.
for Epic.
Yeah.
You know,
Because these look like, oh, we're dropping wheels everywhere. But these look like super solid frames, and it's a shame that these never.
those do
Made
look
it.
like some really
Yeah,
good frames.
did you check these out? These are crazy. Right? That's like a really good solid frame.
How do you have these?
I told you, like they called me to come over. Like they play poker and gamble a little bit as well.
The Razor Twins?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You stay in touch?
I haven't talked to him, and it's been a couple of years since I've got in touch with him. But yeah, they just came over and was like, "Yeah, we got these made. So we figured you'd want a pair." I was like, "Yeah, sure." You making them? And he's like, "They're like, I don't know." It's like, "All right, cool. Thank you." And I've had them ever since. I didn't want to skate them. Like,
That's dope.
I don't know what happened. Kevin or Scott, where are you?
Okay, here's the real question. Do you have any physics that are on the low?
I do have physics. I got some from Long 6 or 7 months ago.
How many pairs are we talking about?
I have a black pair that's set up to go that I like is rideable, and then I have a brand new pair of grays in a box with instruction manual, and then I have a couple chassis, one large used chassis slightly, and then like a brand new medium chassis that's gray as well.
Do you still have the metal rocker arms? Because I feel
I
like
have some, yeah.
Yeah, every time I've seen someone have a pair
do
of
you have
these
the
now, they
little
never had the
tool?
metal ones.
I've actually I'm probably not. I have to go to Home Depot to get that or whatever. But I've had hardware and everything. Like I just won't take them apart.
Dude, we gotta
Those
see.
are epic.
We gotta see on some physics busting some gaps, yo.
Nah,
no more
save
gaps.
'em.
No more gaps. Saving them, right?
Yeah.
Saving them.
Put them into the museum.
Yeah, straight up. Along with these are incredible. These things. These look like you could just grind anything with this setup right here. It's like a metal chassis.
It's hard to miss with a giant valley right there.
It was a giant
It's
valley.
pretty good for flat too.
Oh, it was great for flat. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was, but it's
It's like the best deal for flat.
yeah. The shock is pretty bad though on metal frames. But,
The metal, yeah.
Yeah.
But they grinded very very well. Like,
But that was the first, I think one of the earlier iterations of metal frames
Yeah, definitely. And this is
before the Sola.
I think it's one of the better ones too. It's cool that the middle.
Shout out Kyle Sola, by the way.
Yeah, should definitely shout out Kyle Sola. But this, like, with the middle axles that you can't see them, they're hidden.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Oh, that is
crazy.
dope.
Yeah, you see that? It's
Yeah.
a crazy concept.
the
There's like
Kevin
these
and
weird little axles in here.
Kevin and Scott made one that had a hole right here on both sides that was like that's more official version, I guess. And there was like 3 pairs of those. I don't know where those are. They probably have them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Jeez.
the plastic ones, I don't know. I have no idea.
These just showed up one day.
Showed up one day.
That's awesome. That's cool for bringing these two, by the way.
I figured you might want them.
Hell yeah, these are sick as fuck. That's part of history right there.
Yeah, I want Chris Farmer to sign my Nintendo Shadows because I have the box and everything. Those too. Like, I'm serious.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say you've been big on the shadows since the shadows came.
I like Shadows. Yeah,
I feel like you're just shadowed now.
I like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's a
can't
good.
really-
It's a good old man skate. No offense.
This is correct.
Like,
They are.
it is because you don't have to like worry about squeezing your foot in a boot.
Yeah.
You can just like have your old man foot.
Yeah, you
sneaker.
just take them off and walk in the store or something like that, or walk through
Yeah.
your
Matt
car.
Mickey's got a used pair for me that I got to pick up like on this trip.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
I like how there's still a little fan in everybody, no matter who you are. Walt Austin still wants his skate signed by Chris Farmer.
That's the coolest
that.
skate I think. Maybe it's one of the coolest skates ever put out.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in a Nintendo box and it looks like a Nintendo.
Well,
I didn't know it came in a Nintendo box. That's
It comes in it's like
I didn't know
a
that.
game cartridge. It's
oh, I
tight.
didn't even know that.
It's tight.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
well, I think it's I think all the best skaters are the biggest fans. That's
Yeah.
that's why they're.
That's why they're the
It's
best
like the
skaters.
same thing for like boxing or whatever. Like the best people who are out there thing are the most into it, so they're the biggest fans or supporters of people who are.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
I'll get my stuff signed too. Walt, before you leave, I would like something signed.
How can you do it and like do be that deep in it and not be a fan of it? That's
Of
just
course,
Yeah,
that's
you
what I
don't
mean,
you,
like-
you don't become that good or that dedicated to anything without being just the ultimate fan.
Yeah,
So
no, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, everyone has their own favorite skaters and favorite products and stuff like that. So it's only natural to be a fan like that.
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
and we're big fans of you.
Thank you. I'm fans of you.
Yeah, definitely. I should have brought up a copy of BG19 to have you sign that.
Let's go. I think at some point we're going to open it up for questions.
Yeah.
Not immediately, but
Yeah.
soon. Before we got into questions, I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsors. Shout out Blank by Rollerblade. Shout out Blank. And also, please do all the things that I asked to do, if you don't mind, at the beginning of the show.
You don't mind.
It's free. It's free. You can and Walt's, too.
Hit all the buttons.
Old
Just smash your
man,
keyboard.
Hit the buttons.
YouTube.com/oldmanconrad. What are we going to see on your channel?
Just like, I don't know. Hopefully rollerblading tricks.
Okay, because when it says Old Man Conrad, you say, I don't know. I mean, I want to see you doing
Those,
something.
I mean, like, just, I don't know.
Skating.
Do cool tricks and just put it together in a little thing. And
I love
that's
your
it.
skating, man. The last thing you put out was really cool.
Thanks.
All the things
Yeah.
they've been putting out have been really cool. Are you filming something this trip for the YouTube?
If I feel like I can get something, I might. Like, I don't know. Like,
That's it?
yeah.
I feel like you get some.
I skate a lot more than I actually, like, film. I take my camera all the time and probably don't film. Probably film, like, 10% of the time, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's better that way.
Regularly when I'm not trying to film this edit, but before
Mhm.
that, like.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into questions, and I know we'll have a few, I want to ask you about your spot selection, especially for like your new skating, because it seems like you find the most random things
Yeah.
and make them so cool. You'll take like a light post with a concrete thing there, and you're like stall, ninja something 360 over. But is there like a process behind like the spot selection? Because yeah, it seems like you make the most out of what's around you.
I don't know. I have like, there's like so many fantasy tricks that you want to do, but you can't do. So you try to find something that you could do it on, maybe, you know, that's not quite so dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
Fantasy trick.
And that's kind of it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The spot you're talking about is like down the street from the house, the Target spot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that was like when I saw that trick that you just filmed recently, I was like, yes, thank you. Like, doof, doof, doof. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever, and it's in like a parking lot.
It's a Target.
At Target,
Target.
exactly.
Target.
Thank God it's at Target, because that's where I pictured it to be. I was like, that's at Target. Thank you for confirming that.
Yeah. But
No,
you
that
can
was
skate like
awesome.
skate parks and stuff differently also. It's like your skating truly is like a timeless style of skating, because like I was saying before, skating has changed so much now from like the hammers and big switch ups on rails and stuff like that. People are getting so much more technical and skating in a different way that you would have never thought about back in the day. And you kind of still skate the way you did before, but it still has a place in 2021 now. And you can watch, if someone's new to watching or new to skating in general and just found out who you are now, I feel like they could watch your element section, your VG19 section, your physics section, and still appreciate it so much for what they know skating is today, you know? It's so different than everyone else's. It's always been like that.
I don't know. I'm just trying to find what you're good at and do that.
Stick
You know
with
what
it.
I mean? Yeah, like, keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
It stands the test for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate
does.
it, though. Thank
No,
you.
it definitely does, man. Definitely does. And, yeah, no. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of your skating. So,
Me too.
as
fan
I
of
said
you
on the
guys,
show
dude.
before, I'm a big fan of your skating. And you and Louie were my two favorite skaters always growing up. And I think it was partially because we were just like little people. We're like, you know, that kind of like little
Rollerblades
people
are,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that Walt's favorite skaters are also little people.
Yes, I know.
He has like Jason Marshall and
As he
John
was saying
Starr.
that,
it's like
I was
those
like, look
little
at-
compact styles.
Yeah.
And you can really tell in that.
Yeah, as he was saying that, I was like, all those like lights were clicking in my head, like, oh yeah, bing, bing, bing. Like those are like some of like a lot of my favorite skaters also.
A lot of our younger fans aren't going to know, like the video of VG4 had a huge impact on the change of style in skating, and that had
Tricks, too.
the Johns,
Like,
the tricks, everything.
Backslides on kink trails. Like, that was,
Yeah.
I think that was when rollerblading turned to get very, very difficult on certain things. Excuse me. I mean, it was such a big difference between VG3 and VG4, in my opinion. Like, backslide on a kink, we didn't even, first of all, you couldn't even do backslides, but then to balance it through a kink trail. And whatever year that was, 96, I think, or something, 97, 96. It was, yeah, it was crazy. Julio's fish brain, Julio section.
Yeah.
Fish brain on square rail, in Majestics. Like, there's no, the heel is that big
Yeah.
on that skate. It's that big.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like see him like falling off of the fish brain as he's doing it.
Yeah,
it's
fully
like
on it,
the
yeah. Fully
skate's
on
just
it.
like no, like pushing him off of it as he's doing it.
It's funny. I had a conversation with like a newer skater recently, and we were talking about like soul space and skates because you know there's everybody's skates now have a different size soul space from shadows to them skates and stuff. And we had to explain the concept that there was a time where skates didn't have sole space at all.
Yeah.
Like Majestics, like there was legit no sole. It's like a fitness skate now, and you try to
Right.
do soles and topsides on it.
The frames
blew
either.
their mind.
The frames weren't made either. Frames were just like
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever was
you
attached.
couldn't change a frame on a skate for a while.
You
had to
couldn't,
buy
yeah.
whatever frame came on that skate is what you had to skate.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no, the only thing.
You ever-
The
you
only
ever-
thing you needed your Allen keys for was for the screws, and sometimes
Wheels.
actually the screws back in the day had Phillips head screwdriver.
Yeah, they did.
It was
yeah.
prior to that, so you didn't even need an Allen key for anything.
Yeah.
Actually, you got a
Just
Phillips
go in
head
the toolbox.
screwdriver, you can go skate.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah.
skate bridge grind plates?
Bridge, no, but I skated blood.
Well, no, I
Right.
think it was just like the way it went around. That's what we called them.
Bridge.
It
Like,
was
like,
like
the
a-
H plates.
Yeah, it like went on
Okay.
the outside.
Oh,
and
that
axles
thing.
went-
Yeah,
You never
I
skated?
never skated those.
Was
No.
Bridge a brand, or that's what you would call
That's
them?
what we called them because they went all the way across. Like,
Who made
it was
them?
like
I didn't know
they-
people
I
made them.
CDS?
different companies, different like some skate brands that made like rollerblades, made their own bridge grind plates, or you get like a metal aftermarket ones or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, yeah,
That's like what the Impalas came with and stuff like that too.
yeah, that plastic. That's it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
My first lightning skate had a metal. I bought a metal bridge grind plate for it. Like,
I never seen that. I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, it's. I mean, that's how you protect your frame from scratching it.
Yeah. If you're into skating metal H blocks and stuff too.
No,
though.
Or if it's
because
the only
also,
thing that's there.
Yeah.
but no, also like when you say like you lose the frame, you lose the skate.
Yeah.
Like
No, the idea was
preser-
for sure to
preserve the hell out of your
preserve
Yeah,
the
skate.
skate,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah. It wasn't until you could lock on because it
Yeah.
was metal and flat. Like,
And we were obviously all kids then. None of one had money to buy new skates or anything like that. You got to bug your parents if they're lucky enough to give you skates for Christmas or your birthday, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Mm-hmm. The struggles that we had to go
$200
through
skates
back in the day.
Yeah,
The struggles we had to go through.
wasn't easy, guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't no replacing your frames. Sole plates.
Yeah.
The hell is a sole plate?
Even like the concept of a grind plate to some people now who just started skating don't know what a grind plate is, you know?
yeah. No, well, exactly. And then
Grind plate was also to preserve your skate, you know, same concept.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
you guys ever skate Senate wrenches grind plate?
I never skated that.
No, but we actually talked about that on the Edwards episode where he talked about the introduction to that. It
Mhm.
was Arlo.
Yeah, Arlo was the first one doing that.
That
And then Senate marketed the actual wrench, like a wrench shape, you know, ground plate,
Yeah.
whatever. You
Yeah.
had wrenches on your skates?
No. I saw them in Team Paradise. Like, all the,
Yeah.
like, it's like, oh man, it's official. It's like a Senate grind plate.
Yeah.
We got these like blank metal ones from Play It Again.
Play it again. That's the spot right there. Play it again.
Play it again.
Sports, dude.
Play
I like
sports.
that. I like
Playing
that. I like that
sports.
name. Is that still around that place?
There might be one somewhere. I don't know.
Was
The
there
one-
like a shop in Atlanta before Skate Pile that was like a kind of hub-ish thing before that?
There was one at Scares Extreme had a shop, and then there was also one that was in Alpharetta called like Gravity or Fritz's. There was Fritz's and then Change to Gravity, if I remember right. Yeah, but yeah, nothing like Skate Pile. I mean, it was, I don't know.
Skate Pile's number one.
There was also
For
Sonic
sure.
Blades. There was one, but it didn't last as long as like the other ones that closed there earlier. I think that was a chain too, but I don't know how many they had
Mm-hmm.
around town.
Do you remember your first picture in a magazine?
My first, yes, my first like, it was a cover of Box. It was yellow.
The Yellow magazine.
Yeah, that was the first thing I ever had print.
That your first picture in a magazine was the cover?
The
Yeah.
Soyal yellow cover in the magazine, right?
Yeah, that was yeah.
I don't remember
Okay.
that.
Do you know why I know this?
Why do you know this?
Because it was my first shitty picture in a magazine.
Oh, shit,
in
no
the
way.
back. But I remember
The
that.
Banks one?
I had that because I was showing everyone. It was the plugs.
The
and I
Banks.
looked. It was 180
Yeah.
the Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, yeah, you had the cover on that.
Damn, you guys both
Sorry.
shared the
Dre,
same.
I
I'm
remember.
sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
steal
I
your
remember-
thunder.
Andre was in California and he called us like, dude, watch the cover of Box, and like he was filming for something out there. And it was cool. I was like, oh shit, and I didn't see it for a while. It was cool, yeah. It was
Yeah.
like the first thing is like a cover. It's like, oh, it's yellow. And
Yeah, that's
of
like a
box,
box.
of box.
this
Yeah.
Box. No one. Don't
No,
talk
no,
about
no.
Box.
If you have the cover of a Box magazine, you're a triple OG.
that's pretty OG right there.
You're a
yeah.
triple OG.
Yeah.
You guys
That's
remember-
it. Case closed. Verdict. Jury. It's done. No, that's it. That's like
do you remember Inline magazine?
Yeah.
Alien magazine.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you have a piece in there or two?
No.
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 Because I was about to say that's also.
It
Some
was
triple
always
OG,
like Team Box and Daily Bread, and then whenever the new Team Paradise came out was what I looked forward to the most
Mhm.
as a kid, probably.
Yeah.
Coming in the mail.
Yeah.
Team Paradise for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Team Paradise. You know, the Roller Warehouse, the
Mhm.
Box, the Inline.
This is before
Daily
the
Bread.
internet. This is before buying stuff on the
Exactly.
internet.
Yeah.
There's a catalog.
You had to call up.
It's important to note that a lot of people, our young followers, don't know that before the internet, the only way to get your like blade news or your skating news was magazine or the VG or
Yeah,
the
there's an ad in
Hoax.
VG or something.
That's how you saw everything. So if you were in any of those things, you were legit.
Mhm.
And to be like, I think Box probably died in what, 99? It did not break into the 2000s.
Mhm.
I don't
I
think.
think it might have gone to like 2001, maybe.
You think
or
so?
Yeah, close to 2001.
Really?
I think
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, even that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
If
it's
you
crazy.
missed an issue and there was some news in it, that's it. You just missed out on that for like the
You
next
just-
year.
that was it. No,
That's
and
happened to
we,
me before plenty of times. I wasn't following videos and stuff back in the day as much.
and we all waited for the VG.
Yeah.
You know that. Like when they were
We all waited for it.
we all waited for it. We're like, when is it coming out? We'd ask Blades. They're like, yo, it's coming in on Friday.
Oh, we asked
Or something
Blaze.
like
That's
that.
funny that you said that. We used to go to the skate shop
Yeah.
and be like, "Excuse me, you at the counter? When is it
Excuse
coming
me,
out?"
when is the next? Oh, we're getting 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They've told us.
hmm
We spoke to Dave Payne.
Yeah.
He let
we
us know.
spoke to Dave Payne.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know that is crazy
yeah,
time.
it
Crazy
is.
time.
Yeah.
Stuff changed.
A lot has changed, but what has not changed is Walt is still here ripping,
hmm
and we're very lucky to have him with us here in Lake Havasu. I think we should open it up to our questions because we've had some guests that are very excited to have you here, as we are.
I'm excited to be here because this is cool.
Yeah, isn't it like? I think it's so much better on when you have like a new studio space. It's fun.
Yeah, a new studio space. We have this beautiful Airbnb. Thank you. Shout out to Airbnb for
Yeah.
letting us use this
Airbnb.
space. They don't know we're using it for
Hooking
this.
it up.
Hopefully, we don't get in trouble for this. But
We actually have a miniature plethora of episodes coming up this weekend.
we do. We
Yeah.
do.
We
Yeah.
have an episode tomorrow morning with Chad Hornish.
Name
and-
dropper.
We also have an episode at Brain Dead Studios in Hollywood, LA on Monday with Ben Schwab.
We're gonna have an interesting week for everybody.
I'm extremely excited about that.
Hell yeah.
We're going.
And they're all in
through-
person too. No more of this internet bullshit.
Listen,
You gotta
we
use the
have to
internet,
do what
though.
we have to
Yeah.
do. We have to do what we have to do to get through in these COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always much better to have these live interactions.
I
Yeah.
think so as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's better for people watching.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it more. And plus, hopefully events start popping up more often where we could get together for situations like this,
Yeah.
you know. Blade Havasu, I think a lot of people show up for this one because everyone's just tired of the COVID, pandemic and sitting home, and there is an event that people could go to. It's an outdoor event. It's not like a huge contest like a Winter Clash
Yeah.
where people come from all over the world.
Well,
But-
fortunately, everyone that's come to the Blade Havasu event has been tested for corona, and everyone's been negative. So it's not a problem. Everything's fine.
You have to show your vaccine.
No,
thing
exactly.
at the door.
They don't let you in the parking lot at Blade Havasu before you have the negative test. So everything's fine, and it's all good.
Just tell me you
And,
stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night, so obviously I'm good.
Yeah. He stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. He must be.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
That's it. Let's for anybody who's watching now live, you have any questions for Walt, shout them out now. Like we always say, we prioritize the super chatters. So let me get to some of those super chatters now. Did you?
Yes. If you don't want to, if you would like to go through some of the super chatters, I only have a phone. I can't go through them all.
Yeah,
I will
no.
ask them
Let me
questions.
get some questions. I'll do
Yeah.
the super chatters first. So, first super chat from Sean Michelson, who says, "Much love to my favorite goat. All hail Zolatron. Love Sean, aka Crack Baby."
Zolotron?
Uh,
Old AIM name was Zulutron.
Yours was?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
AIM Messenger?
Yeah. Zulutron. Okay, so there it is then. We have another super chat from Lions Den Media who says, "Gotta go back to the news in case I missed the rest of the show. Walt will jump off anything." So that's another quote from VG19 from Kevin Dowling, who's narrating the show. Of course,
K Dirty.
we have
Big
K
shout
Dirty.
out K Dirty.
Big shout out
Shout out
K
Kevin.
Dirty.
We have to shout out K Dirty. Oh my God.
I think he. Oh no, he might not have been in the chat. It was Kurt Newman that was in the chat before.
Was he in the chat before?
Yeah, Kurt wasn't it.
I like
I
how
was
you.
texting Kurt earlier, yeah.
I like how you shouted out the Mike Turner, Kurt Newman,
Mhm.
Kevin Dowling. Two of those being Jump Street alumni,
Yeah.
and we have to probably change that on the 4th too. We have to Mike Turner. That'd be great.
We have to.
But those are the OGs. No, they are, and Wes, all these guys.
Dude, Atlanta was amazing. It was a really good time coming up
always
skating.
been.
It was amazing. Like, I don't know what's going on there now because I don't have the Instagrams.
They're
So,
still killing it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It looks good from what I see. All the things I do see, Like,
What's the reason that you don't have Instagram or anything like that?
I'm just lazy.
That's it.
I mean,
Just lazy.
pretty much, yeah.
You're not scared of the addiction or anything?
I mean, maybe, but like I don't really care that much. Like it's
That's
too
a
much
good-
to keep up with.
That's
a
probably
good
more
reason.
accurate.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't want to get caught up.
I can just Google something.
Yeah, you don't.
I
need
just
it.
Google someone's Instagram. That's all I have to do.
Google someone's Instagram.
You're 40.
I'm 40.
Just say that.
Old man Conrad.
I'm 40.
Yeah. YouTube.com/oldmanconrad.
I don't have Instagram. I make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There you go. Straight YouTuber. Straight YouTuber. You're trying to make
It's
that
YouTube
monetization
exclusive,
money.
guys.
Trying to make that monetization money. Let's continue with our super chatters.
Yep.
We have Chad Hornis, of course, our guest tomorrow. For anybody watching live, the 99-cent super
Is
chat.
Chad joining us?
Chad is watching live, and he is
Steady.
Yes.
Still.
I want to see him boost tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll boost. He'll boost. He showed up late today, I think, so he wasn't at the session earlier with us, but he'll be there. We have another super chat from Nikolai Berg. Thank you so much, Nikolai. And Tucker Freeland, who says, how was it filming for Underestimated and being part of the OG Denial team?
That was amazing. Like hanging out with like Shuda and Fredericks and Lux, and then going on that tour with Majet. It was really cool. Philly was one of the cooler. Like I think in my opinion was one of the cooler places I went to do my little skating journeys. Was hanging out there.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Thompson, hanging out with him. Will Gordon, all those dudes. Like
Will,
it was like kind of a
Tim.
weird age gap, if like between like people that were 21 and people that weren't. And we always kind of gave him shit a little bit. But,
Yeah.
like, and Majet kind of got mad a couple times, but you know, it was still fun. Like, it was really amazing. Like, just
Yeah.
amazing stories and hanging out and meeting people. The rollerblading spiel, you know,
Totally.
the good life.
That was another video where I guess your section was filmed in a really short amount of time, I think, for the most part. Because I think Majet said that, I guess because most of the video was filmed on the Denial, that tour or whatever.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was like a week, maybe, or something like that. And he said
Seemed like it was more than a week. I was there in Philly more than a week for sure. We
Oh,
might
so you
have-
stayed in Philly afterwards?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
might have been like on the road like a week.
Yeah.
But I was thinking in Philly for I don't know. I was probably out of town for at least 2.5, 3 weeks the whole time, and then sent footage later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Like,
I loved that section, and we will actually be watching that section after this podcast for our Patreons. And you could be a Patreon for as little as $1 a month.
$1.
And you can check that
Link
out.
in the description.
And you know what? Link in the description.
Link in the
Link in the
description.
description. But it's going to be fun. We're going to check some of these out after. So, yeah, that was a really good part.
Yeah. Did you find any questions in here?
I do have some questions.
Shout them out.
Would you like to hear some questions from our guests?
sure.
Okay. Cody Sanders says, what does Schlorgef mean, and how does one get that weird of a nickname? LOL.
Andy Cruz started calling me that. Him and Tom started calling me that because I'm pretty super lazy when I want to be and don't want to like really be bothered. So I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, that and just being lazy and slow.
Someone else, I don't know if that was Cody also who asked how many nicknames did Andy give you? I guess he might have given you a lot of nicknames or something.
I don't know, maybe a couple.
Any others you remember?
Just that one, really.
Just that one? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He would always drag it out, like, slore.
I can see him doing that. Schlorgef.
Well, yeah, he says it- you know,
Andy was that. Yeah.
He says different, like, words in different, like, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, you know what I mean? Like, depending on it, like, smart gas, man.
Andy was one of the biggest characters out of the Atlanta scene, so huge shout out Andy Cruz. I would love to have him on the podcast.
Yeah,
one
we've been
day.
saying that too since the beginning.
Love.
Because we had a lot of weird stories with him in
Oh,
the
my
beginning that
God,
he has
so
to
many.
defend himself on, I guess.
My phone died.
Oh, did it? Okay. All
I
right.
normally have things plugged in a different setup here.
New
Okay.
studio.
So,
Yeah.
new studio,
New studio,
settings,
exactly.
new settings. We have a question here from Mike Way, who asks, what was your favorite era of skating, and also who was your biggest influence?
I don't know if I have a favorite era of skating. I probably like skating now the most, actually. In the past, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. It's just been fully focused on everything. You know what I mean? Like, anything that you can do. You don't even have to grind. You just mash around.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the biggest influence is probably Jason Marshall and John Starr, for sure. Like we talked about earlier.
I love that.
Good
I
ones.
love that those are your favorite influences. I really do.
Have you ever tried like those Any big wheel or like wizard type blading stuff?
Yeah, I've got some big wheels. I've used to skate to work a good bit. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was on that for a good minute. Yeah, I was
Oh,
on it for,
damn.
like about 2 miles from work.
Every day, just back and forth from work.
Did it for about 3 months, and the weather got hot, and then when it cooled down, did it again. Like, it was too hot to do it in the summer, and I was working 2 jobs at that point anyway, because Vegas is pretty busy during the World Series of Poker. So I'd usually get another job at a different property and work two gigs.
Were you dealing at the World Series?
Not actual like at the series,
But it's busy
like,
during that
the
week.
whole all the poker rooms are like
for
much busier.
Yep.
Word poker.
Shout out Daniel Negreanu.
Gambling.
Word gambling.
Daniel Negreanu?
Doug Polk just smoked him
Yeah, he
for
did.
1.2.
He did.
Right? I was really pulling for Daniel though.
He was ahead for like 2 minutes, and then
In the
Polk
beginning,
was like, gone.
Yeah. The 25K poker challenge. I was in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody Sanders has a question again. Says, once travel is normal again, what's one blade event you wish to attend?
I'd like to go skate overseas somewhere. I mean, it doesn't have to be an event.
Have you?
just
I was
go-
going to ask you. Have you
Yeah.
ever done that?
No, I've never been over Europe or anything. I've been to Canada like 4 times. And that's it.
That's crazy. Never been to Europe or anything.
Never. Yeah.
Wow. Does not opportunity just never came? Like no one ever
Yeah,
like
They
sent you
would.
anywhere or
USD
anything?
wouldn't fly me over there, and just never went. Just always went to like San Diego and hung out in Escondido or went on
Wow.
a tour to East Coast or something.
Okay, guys.
Unbelievable.
We got to go to youtube.com/oldmanconrad. Let's get this guy over to Europe right now. We'll film an episode on his YouTube channel of him skating in. What's your favorite France? What would you prefer? Spain, England? What do you prefer?
I have no idea.
Italy?
I'm not like pretty
Turkey?
keen on the. Let's just go
Norway?
everywhere.
He doesn't know it.
Let's find something.
We'll start
Anything.
in Japan and just go there.
Oh, if you start in Japan, that's a good
Oh,
one. Start in Japan.
okay.
I always tell people that too. If you've never been like out of the country, go to like somewhere crazy like Japan because it's just completely alien. It's like you can't read the letters or anything. Can't understand
Yeah.
language
Yeah.
at all.
It's not like you can kind of understand the word a little bit. It's just like,
yeah. If you go to like Italy or anywhere they speak like
Yeah.
Spanish, something like that, you can kind of make out like what stuff.
Apartamento.
Yeah, see there you go. Like
It's an
that.
apartment.
El tren.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you
El
make
tren.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you go to like Japan, it's just
You just completely lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight up, completely.
And also, I think you'd fit in there with your skating because there's not one person from Japan who has bad style.
This is correct.
That's true.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
That
they're
is
the
true.
best.
Yeah.
The best.
They're all so good.
The best.
I wish we could have those guys on the podcast. I just wish there wasn't a language barrier.
Yeah, if you had, like, a translator.
I've been wanting forever to have like Soichiro or like
I
Yuto
know.
on the
Same thing
podcast.
too.
But it's like
I know. We need a translator.
I
language.
could work it out. It's 2021.
Work it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Translate.
We got like some robot, some bot to like
Someone-
switch it up.
Anyone watching the podcast right now, please reach out and if you have solutions.
If you have solutions.
We want this.
Modern solutions require modern problems
Right.
require modern solutions. We have Eric Lopez asked who picked your song for the physics section, which we will also be watching later on.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Which song was that?
Cool Keith.
Cool Keith.
Yeah.
Was that the I'm Seeing
Seeing
Robots?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure we got that right.
The Black Elvis album, I believe. I think. Is it Black Elvis album? Is that the name of it? The green one. The disc is green, I believe.
The disc is green.
Yeah,
You're showing
I
your
remember-
age.
the CD is green. I remember that. Like, the cover is green
The
or
disc
something.
is green.
And, and a lot of Atlanta OGs will know Cool Keith was local around Atlanta, and we'd see him at the library.
I ran
You know
into him
what I-
there once. Yeah.
I ran
don't know
into
if it was
Cool
really
Keith
him,
there 2
but-
times.
Kevin
I
hung
was-
out with him a couple times.
Yeah, I was there with Kevin.
Was
He was,
it-
he was like, "We're hanging out with Cool Keith, man. We're hanging out with Cool Keith." Yeah. So
It's Dr. Octagon, dude.
that's dope, Dr. Octagon.
What if
yeah.
you said that to him? Like, you're Dr. Octagon. What would he say?
Have you ever said it?
No, I've only saw him once. I didn't know if it was him.
That's rough.
I was like, cool. That's what I said when I met him.
He is Cool Keith. He's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
It's not just a name. He's a cool dude.
You think so?
When we were there at the library, yeah, was
Get
like,
drinks?
yeah, he was like Kevin Dowling and all of us were there, and he's like, "What do you guys do?" He's like, "Oh, we're all rollerbladers," and he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man." He didn't hate. That's cool. It's cool.
He's
for
good,
me.
man.
That is cool.
So shout out Cool Keith and that story that I told from back in the day. I'm sorry, guys. It's a
Okay.
reunion here.
Get into it. We're done with the questions now, but I would like to ask. Someone mentioned something similar to this, but like, what is your favorite section that you ever filmed?
Probably physics or assassins.
Oh, Hashashins too.
Right, maybe Hashashins probably.
Oh,
Hashashins.
that actually brings something to me because in Assassins you dressed like you had a part where you dressed like a ninja.
No, Julian dressed like a ninja.
Julian dressed like
I
a
had
ninja.
the camo on.
But actually, this reminded me of something else. I want to talk about skating Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
What the hell? Do you guys remember that?
Was that the water park?
No,
Well,
it's
it's
like
not Water Park.
What's Stone
it's a
Mountain?
mountain that's like stone.
Where you do that line?
Yeah, it's like on. Well, it's not that part's not on the mountain. It's like kind of like in the parking lot ish area, but you can like skate the top if you wanted to. There's like little divots and stuff.
Oh, was it not that?
Just
Because
that
it
one
looked
spot.
super cool that like you were just skating on like this.
That was
stone,
wild.
Stone
Hell yeah.
Mountain.
And you did a gap there too.
Yeah, it's like that part's not on the mountain, but it's like in the park, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it's downhill. You go real fast.
Were you the only one
fast
skating
is
that?
fun.
Were you the only one skating that?
Going
yeah.
fast is fun.
Yeah. Well, there's other spots too in the park there. Like there was like a small curve rail that was knee high, and then like a long, almost like a mellow handicap rail down wide stairs. And yeah.
Physics days, obviously, right?
No, I had those frames on. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I think I did. Maybe not.
That sounds like a physics spot.
I think the first time I went there, I probably skated physics. I mean, I've skated there a couple times. At that like actual where that clip was.
Mm-hmm. Well, hell yeah.
Walt.
Is this the end?
I think. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you on our podcast. I think we're going to go into some sections at the end, but before we get into those sections, is there anything that you wanted to say to the blade community? So any words of encouragement? Any last things?
Don't quit skating. Keep skating. That's it.
I like that one.
Don't
Dope.
quit.
Don't quit.
I mean, you quit if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Don't quit in your heart.
Yeah.
Don't quit in your heart.
We should probably go to the sections now.
Yeah. So we're gonna record some stuff. If you aren't familiar with our Patreon, if you are or not, we went back and with some of our guests and watched their sections, a little commentary, just go through the memory lane. If you are on Patreon, we've done them already with a few of our past guests. If not, join our Patreon. We're going to have one with Walt. We are doing Murder. We have a couple others up there too. So check it out. It's what we're going to get into now. But other than that, Walt, this has been amazing. Finally having you on
It was
the show.
amazing. I love you guys.
Hell yeah, I love you too, man. This
Thank
is
you for
awesome.
having me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for doing this.
Oh,
This is
hugs?
sick. Get it in there.
You
get
know
it in
I'm
there.
emotional.
All right.
I need hugs.
Fuck yeah. We're going to get some skating in.
Yeah.
Some filming probably
I
tomorrow.
need a snack before we do this section.
Okay.
We could do that. We can
So we're
make
gonna
that
take. Do you want to take a quick? We'll take a quick.
happen. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take a break.
Awesome,
So,
guys.
Can we
thanks
take
for
a break?
joining us.
We don't have to. If we
We
don't.
can.
No.
Oh, okay.
Get
we
a
gotta end this
snack.
anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching live, stay tuned tomorrow morning with Chad Hornish coming to you live from Lake Havasu.
Walt, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast.
Leader
It's been
bladers.
nothing but an absolute honor. Honestly, I'm very privileged.
I'm honored to be on your show.
Definitely.
Woo! I'm gonna go cry in the bathroom right now.
Let's go cry right now. Everybody, we'll see you later. Peace.